When I first heard about the Duke Endowment Summer Literacy Program, I thought to myself, wow, this is tailor-made for Wilkesboro United Methodist Church. We are a congregation full of educators, both active service and retired. We're a congregation that loves to read and that really believes in the power of education. We already have a partnership with an elementary school in our community, and so we understood the value of being part of a child's education, and we knew that there was a need there for summer literacy, and we wanted to see if we could meet that need. And so we began to explore, and what we found out was that there was no one in our community that was really focused on the rising first grader, those children who were already below reading level as they enter first grade, which is a crucial time for them. And we thought we can do something about that. And putting this program together was difficult, and there were times where I thought, gosh, I'm not sure we're going to pull this off. And then suddenly this amazing staff just kind of fell in our lap. And these teachers were phenomenal. We were able to hire 3 experienced, certified master teachers to work with the kids on literacy and instruction in the morning. But we even hired a certified teacher for our afternoon enrichments. And we hadn't really planned on doing that, but it just happened. And it ended up being such a blessing because she was able to come in and hear what the kids had learned that morning. And then she would take our afternoon enrichments and she would bring those subjects back and ask questions. And she really kept the kids engaged in their theme for the day. And I think that made a huge difference.
And I really didn't know what to expect about this program. But after it was put together, we ended up with 3 experienced certified teachers who worked well together, who each brought different strengths to the program. And then we got our students, who were wonderful. And I didn't know what to expect about students either. But the students that came in clearly had reading, needed reading improvement. We specifically chose themes each week that we thought would interest the kids. And so when they came in each week, they were eager. And it was like all the books and all the activities and everything correlated to that week.
But the moon, sometimes it looks like a face. And so sometimes people, before they got close enough to the moon to know what it really looked like, it kind of looked like maybe a face. And so they referred to the moon as the man in the moon. Okay, but we know that the only man that's been on the other men have been astronauts that have been on the moon.
Can girls go on the moon?
They can go on the moon now, yes. The next story is about a girl who wants to be an astronaut.
Wow! Girls can be an astronaut?
Fortunate also, the afternoons, the people who worked with them would tie in whatever they were doing with our theme week, do activities, crafts, more stories. As the weeks went on, not only did their interest in reading improve, but their actual reading skills began to improve.
Every day he was ready to get up, go to school. We never had an issue with him not wanting to go to school. Even the day he didn't feel good, he still wanted to come. Max was like, oh, my school is fun. I'm going to the science lab and I get to read this and the story of the whale, and he could tell us every whale that they read about, or the hammerhead shark. Even though I don't think the kids were realizing that they were really reading and learning, they were learning more than they thought they were. So
back December 25th, 2016, Devarian had his first seizure. Fell over into the Christmas tree after opening presents, and from there we got up to, he was having about 25 seizures a day. So of course, reading, writing, just comprehension, of course. There was a lot of deficiency there, we can say that. DeVarian ended up having brain surgery April the 6th of 2018. Now we're just trying to reteach everything that he struggled with then. We're working on. So we're still working on the alphabet. We're still working on writing his name. We're still working on sight words. Things that seem simple aren't necessarily simple for him. One of the best things that I've noticed is just his understanding of the alphabet. He is so much more eager to learn. He's excited about learning. He's excited about learning his ABCs and writing his name. We do private tutoring sessions as well as occupational therapy and speech therapy. And even his therapists have commended the growth that they have seen in him. It's from the simple things like his ability to hold a pencil. And when he goes to draw his letters, they're not all circles anymore. Even when we went back to see his neurologist, and she was just astounded at not only how better his speech is, but just his understanding and interest. I've never known DeVarian to just call off facts, and Shark Week had us. So it's really just changed learning for him. And the things that he's doing now, he wasn't doing the last day of school. So his name looks totally different. He can tell you the sound that an A makes. He can tell you the sound that a C makes. And that's amazing. Because I think that y'all sparked, I know y'all have my son, you sparked that interest. You kind of lit that spark. Just to see him and he's excited, and he can tell me why great white shark's belly is white. It feels good. Like I get chills just sitting here talking about it, but to see how far he's come.
You know, early on, I believed that this program was tailor-made for Wilkesboro United Methodist Church, and I believed our congregation would respond to it with open arms. And I was so pleased as the program began to unfold that that's exactly what happened. We ended up with 39 different volunteers from within our congregation that came and served. They served food, they served as classroom assistants, they served as chaperones, bus drivers, you name it. That's 39 that were here being the hands and feet, physical hands and feet of Christ in this building and on our field trips. That doesn't count the people who made donations or prayed for us along the way, or had other gifts kind of behind the scenes that were shared. But those 39 people that came in this door logged, in the 6 weeks that we were here, they logged over 340 hours of service. And so we've been so blessed by their participation, and so many of them, the children just fell in love with them. They just had such a heart for what they were doing, and this program would have never worked, ever, without such a dedicated congregation.
And I do want to say Monday dinners were phenomenal, just because it gave us that time to kind of, with me, I'm a busy mom, but it gave me time to put the cell phone down, put work to the side, and really just laugh and enjoy the kids. So I think that's something we're going to keep going. Monday dinner is now scheduled, like just because I feel like it brought us closer together.
Our Monday nights, after the first one, everyone seemed like family, so I just kind of felt, I fit in, and everybody was friendly, all the staff, the teachers, and the kitchen staff. He loved their food. He always talked about how good the food was. And his splash pad adventures, and the library, and the fire department, and the art, and his favorite was the science lab. We honestly, we had prayed before, that we could get him even into a tutor for maybe a little bit in the summer to help him read. And then when his teacher sent the form home, I was like, oh my God, yes, thank you, Jesus. And then, we are just, well, we're blessed. We're truly blessed. And to have you guys, all of you, who helped him, I mean, you guys are God sent. Even the volunteers who volunteered in the kitchen, I mean, everybody was like family. And Max loved the two Marys. We actually have pictures of them.
As our staff began the work of putting this program together, we knew that the Duke Endowment had their own goals for the program, their own metrics of success, and we were certainly going to work to achieve those. But we realized early on as a planning team that that each of us had grown up with a deep, abiding love of reading, and that love for reading had shaped so much of who we are, who we became in life. And our overarching goal at Wilkesboro United Methodist Church was really that we felt we would be successful if we could instill a love of reading in children. For me, I believed that if a child loves to read, then that child is going to figure out a way to do it. They're going to figure out a way to compensate for any of their struggles that might come, so that they can do something they enjoy. And that's really what we wanted to achieve. We want children to love to read. We want them to understand that it's fun, and I think we achieved that. Don't you?
100%. We are at the library now twice a week.
Nice.
Wednesdays and Saturdays are our day to go to the libraries and get books.
Oh, yes. Yes. Even yesterday when we were at Kohl's and he had to get Woody, we had to get the book too. So I told him today, because we got a Kohl's cash back, so he's going to go back today and get him 2 more books with the little animals. But now we are like collecting books. So all of his books are going to his room, and we're having to get a bookshelf. So he loves it now. Even though a lot of the bigger books he can't read quite well right now, but I mean, the smaller books, like his kindergarten books that he could never read last year, he can breeze through those just like,
I told them at graduation, I said, y'all make sure if we get an invite next year, Devarian is on. Yeah. It's no more, can we commit to 6 weeks straight? This is what we're going to do for 6 weeks straight.
I'm just proud to be a part of it because I didn't know what to expect, and I'm just excited because I was a part of something that was really effective that I think helped kids.
Honestly, if there was a school here, we would pay for him to go to school here because we saw so much change in him.